The judge had already raised the gavel. Everyone in the courtroom believed the case was over. Ethan was going to prison. His wife had won. His fortune would soon belong to her, and the woman they believed was dead had already been buried 2 weeks ago. Then the courtroom doors opened. A woman stepped inside. Her heels echoed across the silent room. She wore the same cream dress, the same hairstyle, the same face. When Sophie turned toward the door, every color drained from her face, because the woman standing there was the same woman Sophie had helped bury with her own hands. Ethan was not a man people could read easily. At 35, he had built a technology company worth hundreds of millions. He rarely smiled, rarely argued, and almost never showed emotion. People respected him, but very few felt close to him. His silence made him difficult to understand. Sophie was the exact opposite. She was charming, elegant, and knew exactly how to make people trust her. She spoke gently, smiled at the right moments, and could turn concern into sympathy within seconds. To everyone around them, she looked like the perfect wife, loyal, graceful, and deeply devoted to her husband. That was the version she wanted the world to believe. But for the last 2 years, Sophie had been living another life. She had accumulated enormous debt from gambling and luxury spending. She had taken secret loans. She had hidden transactions. And she had started working closely with a woman named Emma. Emma had once been a successful model. She was smart, beautiful, and incredibly manipulative. She understood people's weaknesses quickly, and she knew exactly how to use Sophie's desperation. Together, they created a plan that would make Sophie rich beyond imagination. If Ethan went to prison for murder, Sophie would become the legal owner of almost everything: his shares, his accounts, his home, and the rights to his company. It would all transfer to her. The plan was simple. Emma would disappear, Ethan would be blamed, and Sophie would become a grieving widow with complete control over his empire. One rainy evening, Sophie invited Emma to their house. She made sure the neighbors saw Emma enter. She greeted her loudly in front of the staff. She intentionally left the front camera recording. Everything was planned. Just after midnight, Sophie called the police. She was crying so hard she could barely speak. She told them Ethan and Emma had argued. She said she heard shouting. She said she saw Ethan dragging something heavy into the garage. The police arrived within minutes. When they searched Ethan's car, they found blood inside the trunk. In the back seat was one of Emma's earrings. In the storage room, they found a cream dress soaked with blood. Emma herself had vanished. There was no body, but the evidence looked overwhelming. Ethan was arrested 2 days later. What shocked everyone was how calm he remained. He didn't shout. He didn't deny anything. He didn't defend himself. He simply stared forward as officers took him away. That silence convinced everyone he was guilty. At the trial, Sophie cried every day. She looked exhausted. Her voice shook. Her hands trembled. She told the jury how Ethan had become distant. She said he had grown jealous. She said he accused Emma of ruining their marriage. Her performance was flawless. The jury believed her. The media believed her. The court believed her. But Sophie made one mistake. She believed Ethan had discovered her betrayal too late. The truth was far worse. Ethan had known for months. It began with one message. One evening, Sophie left her tablet unlocked on the kitchen counter. Ethan saw a notification appear. He had no intention of reading it, but one sentence was visible on the screen. Once he's gone, we split everything. The sender was Emma. Ethan stared at the message. He read the rest. Then he locked the screen and placed the tablet back exactly where it was. He never mentioned it. He never confronted her. He simply waited, because he wanted to know how far Sophie would go. The answer was farther than he expected, far enough to destroy him. So Ethan began planning first. He hired a private investigator without telling anyone. Every meeting Sophie attended was documented. Every hotel, Every transfer, every late-night call. He collected everything quietly. Then the investigator discovered something unusual. Emma had an identical twin sister, Olivia. They had been separated for years after their parents died. Olivia lived in another city and had no social media presence. Almost nobody knew she existed. Sophie certainly didn't. That was the moment Ethan's revenge began. He met Olivia privately. At first, she refused to listen.